Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and welcome to the Toxicless 18 update video. The time that a lot of magicians and mentalists around the world have been dreading has finally come, and that is the brand new Apple iOS update 18. Now, for those of you who don't quite know exactly what I'm talking about, basically Apple has updated many features on the iPhone, and one of those features is the calculator app. Now, this has caused a lot of problems for a lot of different magic effects that use a calculator app, Toxic being the main one. Now, Toxic isn't the only one affected by this. There have been multiple other different magic ideas using the calculator app that have been affected as well. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you a couple of things. Number one, I want to show you guys what the update has done to the calculator. I'm going to explain why some of these things are broken. And then, don't worry, don't run into the corner and cry yourself to sleep. I have some solutions for you that just might work out so that you guys can continue to perform this effect, right? So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the calculator. Let me get up nice and close and personal to you guys here. I just want to show you on the calculator what happens now when we punch some numbers in, right? So let's just say I punch in some random numbers there, hit the multiplies button, and then I punch in some more numbers. You'll notice already that something looks a little bit different. Notice that the numbers are staying on the screen. Here, we'll add some more numbers there, and we'll hit equals, right? I'm gonna turn this sideways so you guys can get a closer look at what's going on. You'll notice the equation is up there at the top with the solution down here at the bottom, right? Now, normally, before the update, only the solution would be visible. None of this other stuff, none of the stuff there, if I show you at the top, is visible. And what that does is that hides the method for a lot of these different things. But with the update, what this has done is this puts the method clear as day right at the top of the screen for the spectators to see, right? Now, without giving Toxic away, because I don't have permission to teach it, I'm not going to show you what the equation would look like. But basically what's going to happen is when the spectators go to punch in numbers, they're not going to see a fresh zero like this. They're going to see a bunch of numbers that have already been inputted onto the screen. And that's going to completely break the illusion, and that's going to make Toxic not very magical. There are some workarounds to it that people are already working on, but I have a solution for you guys. Actually, I have a few solutions for you. And of course, one of them is using Dale Moore's method called Toxicless. So I'm going to show you guys what Toxicless looks like so you can see. That way we can see what a new way of performing Toxic looks like, right? So again, same situation. You're gonna have someone put in some random numbers, right? And you can hit the plus sign, and then we'll put an even bigger number in and hit the plus sign and an even bigger number in, and then I'll hit equals. Now, I already have it set to force 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you can see, right? So what it does is it erases the equation so that that's not visible to them, and it forces the number. Basically, what's happening is a shortcut that Dale has created is doing everything that Toxic would do, but instead of doing it in the calculator, it's doing it in the shortcut, so none of that stuff is visible to you. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool to have that little equation there? Because now people that have the update, they know about this. They know that that little equation is supposed to be right at the top. So here now comes the Toxicless 18 version. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the Toxicless 18 version here. Starting over from scratch, just like this, you're going to have some folks punch in some numbers, right? And you'll have them put in numbers at random. It doesn't matter what these numbers are. The only difference is you want them to do it without thinking about it, right? So you don't want them to put in a number that means anything to them, because later on, well, you'll see what I mean in just a moment, but later on, if they go back and they try to find the number that they put in, they're not going to find it. So you want them to just hit random numbers, and you can do this one of two ways. You can either have them punch in the numbers without looking, or you could put the phone face down. You can have them punch in the numbers that way, right? So let's just say they do it without looking, right? So they're gonna ba 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 ba, and then you'll hit the plus button, and then the next person, the same thing, ba 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 ba, and then the plus button, and then the next person, the same thing, ba 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 ba, plus button, and then the next person another 7 or 8 numbers, ba, 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 and then you're going to hit equals. So now, this is what the spectator is going to see, right? And don't worry about that little E. It's not an error. All it means is that the number is run off the calculator, so you just got to rotate it so they can see the full number, right? But let me go ahead and show you. This number looks completely random, but this is the number that I have set up to force my version of the confabulation effect. It's like a travel theme thing. It's called Final Destination. I know I've talked about it before. You guys probably already know about it, but if you don't, basically there's a boarding pass with these numbers on there, and that's what these numbers force, right? But here's the really cool part. If you look really closely, you'll see that all of the numbers are along the top. And if the spectators wanted to, after the fact, go back and check the math on those, all of those numbers add up and they equal that big force number there. So the math is legitimate. And it feels like it was completely random. Now, let me take a break from talking about toxic for a minute, and let me talk about another phone application called the Stranger. You guys may have heard of this. Basically, what it allows you to do is have the spectators punch in a bunch of random numbers on the phone, right? The phone app. So like, you know, like you're gonna make a call. Let me close this out so you can see. Like your keypad, right? Like you're gonna dial a phone number. Basically what the Stranger allows you to do is punch in random numbers, pick up the phone, and then call a stranger. Now, of course, that stranger is someone that you know, but the app is going to make it look like it's a completely random number, but then it's gonna call a specific number that you want it to call. So maybe you can have a family member or a friend on the other end of the phone pretending to be a stranger, and there's all kinds of fun shenanigans that you can get up to. You can have them reveal a thought of word or a card, or reveal the, you know, the astrological sign, astrological, is that the name of it? Whatever, they're a Taurus, they're a Sagittarius, whatever. You can have them reveal the spectator's sign. There's all kinds of really fun stuff that you can do with it. But there's one convincer in there that I really appreciated. And basically what that convincer is, you have a random number generated. The hype is being built up, and you go and you press the call button and you put the phone up to the speaker, and you're anticipating that someone's gonna answer the phone and this really cool thing's gonna happen. And instead you get a, sorry, but the phone number that you're trying to reach cannot be connected because the number doesn't exist, right? You get that error. And so it makes it feel like, man, well, that didn't work. You guys want to try it one more time and see if we can make this happen? It feels real. It feels like you're really generating these random numbers. So what I've done is I've taken that exact same idea and I've built it into Toxicless. So now you can go through this whole thing, right? So ba 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 ba, plus ba 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 ba, plus ba 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 ba, plus ba 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 ba, and then when I hit equals now, you're not gonna believe this. We got a freaking syntax error. Someone put, you guys, like, you're going a little too crazy with the tapping. Like, you know, some of you guys hit, like, someone hit like a % sign. One of you guys hit like the plus, minus, like little slash thing. So I'll tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna clear that out. We're gonna try one more time, okay? Be a little bit more careful with your tapping this time. Tap a little bit slower. Again, you're not looking, but just try to tap the random numbers, and here, I'll hold it like this right there so you guys can just tap, 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 right? And so they're gonna tap, 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 plus tap, 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 plus tap, 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 plus tap, tap, tap. And now when I hit equals, again, you're gonna get that force number again. So basically what this syntax error thing has done now is this allows you to make it look like you really are trying to get a random number. In fact, it was so random, the number doesn't make sense for the calculator, and the calculator broke. So you had to start over and do it again, right? So we have these really fun updates. Another really cool trick is the one, I believe this is R digit. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I know you guys will. But basically what it allowed you to do is pluck the numbers off of the screen. So I'm gonna show you why this doesn't work anymore, right? So if you look here, I have the calculator app open again. Normally what you would do is you would put some numbers in, and then using just the normal function in the calculator, if you wanted to erase those numbers, you can just swipe them. But look what happens now. Instead, it opens a history menu, so I can't just swipe those numbers away anymore, right? Isn't that freaking annoying? Look, it just opens, this. So for the last thing, this is like the final little bonus idea that I came up with. This one, it's a little silly, but work with me here, okay? I'm gonna make a prediction. So I put a prediction inside of an envelope or something, right? I do a Google search on someone's phone or whatever you want. And I'm gonna try to see if we can come up with a random number that's gonna match my prediction. So the way that we're gonna do that is very simple. I want you to think of any 3-digit number, and I only have a couple of rules. Rule number 1, the numbers cannot be the same. So all the numbers have to be different in the number that we come up with. And number 2, I'm going to be subtracting this number from itself in a kind of a funny way. So in order for this to work out properly, the first number has to be larger than whatever the last number is that you're going to put in, right? So you're thinking of a number, let's just say it's 954, right? What we're going to do is we're going to subtract the opposite of that. So going backwards, 459. So that's 459, and that equals this new number, 495. So now we're going to hit the plus button, and we're going to add the reverse of this number. So we're going to add 594, and that gives us this brand new number here now. That is, what is that number? 1089, right? So now it's time for me to reveal my prediction, and I'm really excited about it because you know it's going to match because the magician never misses. And the prediction is Alfred Hitchcock, and he died in 1980. Oh, sorry, that's not 1980, that's 1089. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic. I got the number is kind of jumbled. Don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and fix this, okay? I just want you to see that I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing in my hands. First, we need to erase this, equation, and then we need to take the numbers off just like this, and we can throw them right back on, this time in the proper order, right? So that's 1980. And that matches my prediction of Alfred Hitchcock, who died in 1980, right? So just a silly little thing. I call that 1089 plus, and it uses basically the exact same methods that Toxicless uses, right? So basically, we're gonna be using these different shortcuts in different ways to get into different shenanigans and hopefully correct some of these issues that the iOS 18 update has created for ourselves, right? So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Go ahead, stick around, because now we're gonna dive into some of the solutions for these things. We have the Toxicless 18 update, we have the syntax error method, and we have, of course, the 1089 plus. So go ahead, grab your phone, strap in, and let's dive into this.